Young Pimp C represent that UGK records. I'm out here with Hezeleo, know what I'm saying? My homie, my real homie. PA fine, know what I'm saying? Block Stars, Volume 1, the mixtape, and it's going down.
Broken glass and dope fiends. That was the view from my room. Hustlers drinking malt liquor on a Monday afternoon. My road models, they all hustle full throttle. That pedal to the metal, and soon I'd follow. I'm out on the block trying to get rich. I learned from the G's not to take no shit. Stack my grip and put away my chips. And be ready for the haters, cause they gon' trip. Now with all that said, became a grinder. Hauling jail deep in these streets, trying to bust all this. My name started ranking, my clothes started changing. See, I just stepped my game up. You know what that came with. A teacher from the laws and got jocked by the bras. Popping bitches, popping niggas, surrounding my car. Not to do me no harm, they wanna see who I are. I'm your neighborhood killer, baby. A block star, a block star. It's something like a rock star. Handling the block, got 'em jocked by the bras. Handling the rocks, got 'em all them tight cars. And hanging on the block, got 'em known by the laws. A block star, it's something like a rock star. Handling the block, got 'em jocked by the bras. Handling the rocks, got 'em all them tight cars. And hanging on the block, got 'em known by the laws.
See, now it's not hard. The flow game cold and quite vicious, but I promise you gon' need you a sweater to bear witness. It'll make me set some gloves, cause it's sloppy to freeze. See what I'm spitting over tracks, minus 20 degrees. Get 20 of these for cheap, they 300 a thing. A 550 for a ball, you can get in the game. Been dealing the cane since 11, and I'm still in the mix. But skipping school out on 11, trying to get it for kicks. Or hitting the bricks, just hard stop, squeezing the game. It's Mike Riles, you don't know me, but you heard of the name. And birdies and came, they chirp in the hood for real. My motive finance on Savannah, I'ma cut you a deal. I'll cut you a wheel in half, for a buck and a half. My block niggas don't provide, they gon' triple they cash. See, ripping this trash, but other tellers, that's how they get it. Gotta admit it, that my prices be by double the cities, cause I'm a rock star.
It's something like a rock star. Handling the block, got 'em jocked by the bras. Handling the rocks, got 'em all them tight cars. And hanging on the block, got 'em known by the laws. A block star, it's something like a rock star. Handling the block, got 'em jocked by the bras. Handling the rocks, got 'em all them tight cars. And hanging on the
Ain't nothing like that Trill love. It don't fade, it don't change. The type of love you can depend on. Trill love.
Trill love.
Trill love.
Everybody needs that trill love.
Trill love.
A love you can't deny. I'm talking about real love.
Real love.
You only want that trill love.
Trill love.
Trill love.
Get a whole lot of love, some real, some fake. Pay attention, you could be in the bed with a snake. Must I mention, some of these girls be fake. Only want you for the cake, or the scrimp, or the stage. Talking about shopping spree, girl, you just met me. Yeah, I wanna get to know you, I ain't tryna pay for you. Yeah, your waist small, and your butt like a balloon. But I ain't no buffoon, I'm a Texas tycoon. I can make room if you're gonna keep it trill. If you own that groupie you can head for the hills. Asking by Bun B, Boosie and Lil Webby. Girl, you fanned out, buying the blue Lil Debbie.
Trill love.
Trill love.
Everybody needs that trill love.
Trill love.
A love you can't deny. I'm talking about real love.
Real love.
You only want that trill love.
Trill love.
Give me some.
Trill love.
Trill love is all I want and what I got. Reason why they hate it, cause we everything they not. Every girl, I thank you for taking me off the block. Between you and Big God, I owe you a whole lot. I used to be a player, known to crush a lot. Used to take 1 and 2 to make it multiply. Feel like I got enough between you and I. Yeah, I'm a rap star now, but I'm a real guy. If you ever feel low, I'ma lift you up. Just lay it down on me, I'ma pick it up. I know you heard about the click, but I'm the trillest one. And I ain't certified.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to see if I got my game tight and my game right. I ain't did this in a while, but I still know how the Trill cast and last. Know what I'm talking about? Y'all let me know in the chat if y'all can hear me okay. That's what I need y'all to do. I know it's been a while, we ain't came and Trill casted and lasted. But let me know in the chat if y'all could hear me okay. Give me some thumbs up or something. Let me know that I'm audible. You know what I'm talking about. I see Edward in here. Soul Brother in here. Man, we got $2 worth of soup in this thing. Come on, man. You know it's been a minute since we had that soup chat going on. But it's time to get back at it. You know what I'm saying? Show appreciate that to the homie Soul Brother. You know what I'm saying? Been tapping in for quite some time. We got Melanie, a member, all the way from Canada. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm pretty sure we're going to have some more Trill ones come through in here and fool with us because they cool with us. But yeah, man, we back at it, and I got thumbs up so we can take off. Tonight, we got company. So I want y'all to keep it Trill and show some love to my homie, man. This is a brother that go way back with me in the music game and just being there for a player, you know what I'm saying, outside of music. I had an incident that took place very traumatizing, but this brother helped me get through it. You know what I'm saying? I lost a brother. One of my brothers died, my big brother. And during that time, we had some music things to take care of that was already scheduled. You know what I mean? Who knew that day we would, lose somebody? Definitely didn't anticipate it. But once my brother passed away and I was in the hospital, you know what I'm saying, viewing his body on the gurney or whatever. Let me say this right here on a side note. For some reason, when a person is alive, their flesh and their body appears to be stressed out. You see what I'm saying? I guess because it's all the mechanisms and things going on inside the structure of the body, but it appears to be stressed out. When I saw my brother laying up there, man, his color came back, his skin looked at beautiful, and he looked at peace. And because he was in that, how could I say, position, I was able to consume that traumatizing moment smoothly and not chaotic. There was no stress on his face. And I knew he was in a better place. But this brother right here wanted me to continue and come, do the obligation that we had signed up for. And my precious mother, RIP, I told her, Mama, I'm going to go ahead and cancel my flights and go ahead and hang back with y'all, you know what I'm saying, and keep the family up. She said, your brother wouldn't have wanted that. So go ahead and get on that plane and go do what you said you was going to do, and we'll holler at you when you get back. So that's how deep me and this brother go back. But without further ado, man, I'm going to let my partner come through here, and let's see if we can get him situated. What's going on, man?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Man, I hear you loud and clear.
All right.
Folks in the chat, this is my brother DJ for show. You know what I'm talking about. If y'all could hear him loud and clear, give him some thumbs up in the chat. You know what I'm talking about. If y'all could hear him and me, give him some thumbs up in the chat. You know what I'm saying. Big Draymond Spratley in the building. We got Zay Sanchez in the building. It's going down. But if y'all can hear the both of us, go ahead and give okay. Man, we live in direct, my G. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, you know what it is, man. It's your boy Truth Parker, aka DJ for show. What can I say, man? Hezeleo said a lot, man, and I do appreciate those good words, brother. You know what I mean? We definitely go back very far in the music game and everything, and like you said, outside the music game and stuff like that. So, I definitely appreciate you bringing me out here on this platform and everything. We say what's up to all your watchers and listeners and everything like that. And
man,
let's get
our connection, warrants that type of activity. Like, I don't do no changing. And you were so genuine with me back then. I may have never said, hey, I see you being genuine. But shit, nigga, I saw you and I felt it and I embraced it. I don't know how we differ in age, but you took that leadership role and that big brother role to get me out of my shell a bit. I was a bit guarded because of certain situations I've been through and understand how people move. But you kind of shot that shit down a lot. Like, man, come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Sometimes if I was
you know,
fucking out, you'd be like, man, come on, hit these push-ups. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, man. You know, because a lot of the things that we go through in life, man, I've been through as well. You know, I have a lot of similar experiences. So I felt like, you know, some of those things that you may go through or whatever, if I've been through it before and I can give a helping hand or even just a couple good words to push a man through, you know, his troubles and shit that he's going through, man. That's what I try to do. Because at the end of the day, man, we all just people, man. And the business don't stop. You know what I mean? The business don't
Right.
never stop. So that's all it was, bro.
I'm used to being in a leadership position. It's not
Yeah,
that I seek that position. It's just sometimes the circles I'm in, I just wind up being in that position.
yeah,
So when you and I united, it wasn't that type of situation. It was a type of structure to where we pushed each other, and you would get me, you know, in places that I never imagined I would get, the way you did it by pushing the button through the system you had set up. Your platform at the time, the mixtape game and all the circulation you had going on. And so when you shot me through that platform and through all the different places where you were being heard at, I had ways to check how DJs was doing their thing. A lot of times DJs would get at me and be like, yeah, man, my reach is like this and my reach is like that. Well, I did some Mike Jones shit. I hollered out my phone number in the drop.
yeah, yeah. You was good for that.
Yeah, reason being is because if you really got reach and I put this number out there the way I'm about to do it, people gonna hear that shit and they gonna hit that line.
Absolutely.
So I did that with multiple DJs, but when I did that with you, man, Trill story. Man, soon as you shot that shit out there, man, I had phone calls, niggas talking about, say, man, I'm in New York, son. I'm in the thoroughest borough. I don't know what the fuck them niggas talk about, but it's like a group of niggas, and they like, man, I told them niggas, man, I could just feel this nigga is real, son. Man, do me a favor, Heezy. These niggas around here, man, we blowing Dutchies, whatever. Man, do me a favor. I say, what's that, my nigga? Man, hit that cow, hit that yeah, fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was a
Man,
signature right there, man.
man, I hit that ad lib, man. Them niggas went crazy, dog. I say, yeah, this nigga mixtapes is really getting out there. So salute
Yeah,
on
man.
that, man.
No doubt, man. You know,
Yeah.
back then, man, I'm a grinder. You know, I'm a hustler from jump. And the things that I did coming up before I even really got into the DJ game allowed me to be in certain type of positions and allowed me to elevate. And I was around a lot of guys and watched how they moved and things too. But what I did with the DJ thing was applied that hustle to what I was doing with the mixtapes and everything like that. And because of the place where I was in Virginia at the time.
Okay. Shout out to
They
VA.
weren't, yeah, they weren't really used to the type of mixtape. I don't want to say hustle, but just the whole mixtape arena. It wasn't really big in Virginia like it is from where I come from. You know what I mean? I'm from Newark, New Jersey. I grew up on the East Coast, and the mixtapes were like, you know, that a lot of dudes purchased mixtapes and got into the mixtapes more than they did dudes' albums and stuff like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
just growing up in that scene, it's something that I always wanted to be a part of. It's something that I always gravitated towards. It's something that I always loved. So when I got into doing the mixtapes and stuff like that, I mean, I wanted to do it big. And when I recognized that it wasn't nobody in that area in Richmond, Virginia, that was doing it quite like the way I would like to have done it, I just took on that role, man. And the hustle just didn't stop. It kind of, you know, I reached out to all of the people that I knew back home. I reached out to all the people I knew across, you know, the United States or whatever. And I guess just me being the person that I am, you know, I was able to push buttons and make a lot of connections in a lot of places. And I kind of, I don't want to say reinvented the hustle or whatever, but I kind of did start the movement in the mixtape thing the way that I was doing it out there, and it allowed me to just elevate very fast, man. You know what I mean? And it opened up a whole lot of doors. and just being a genuine dude, you know, dealing with other genuine dudes and stuff. You know, real recognize real, man. So when people are doing things, real people are doing things in other places, and we make that connection, it's just like we knew each other from might not have known each other that long, but it feels like we known each other forever. So, you
Day
know,
one.
one hand washes the other type thing. You know what I mean? So I was able to use my connections to really broadcast what you were doing. And I personally, I liked what you were doing. You know what I mean? I respected your hustle. I seen what you was doing and stuff like that. And I felt like, you know, I guess the moons and the suns and the stars kind of just aligned themselves at that time and brought us together the way it did. And I felt as though like I could take this dude to places he probably ain't never been to. Not saying physically, but the music wise. You know what I mean? I can get this dude in places that ain't listening to down south music, or they don't know too much about Texas artists or anything like that. You know what I mean? And I had these connections and I had these outlets. So it was a no-brainer, man, to just push you through, man.
You know what was crazy? Me growing up and being inspired and influenced by hip hop in the beginning, I always was a artist, MC, hip hop, rap, country rap tune. So I showed that ability through my verses. Like I never tried to stay in one lane, so a nigga would think, oh, he only capable of this. So where I'm from, no, niggas didn't want to hear us really flexing the type of skills. They wanted to hear the A&B rhyme schemes and just enjoy the dirty South type of country rap tune music. Artists like Bun B and Scarface and K Reno, they really pushed the envelope on that. But I was finding my way during that time. But what I really appreciated was the type of beats y'all would ask me to get on, the type of artists y'all would ask me to collab with. It made me stress myself and be able to show those skills, not just being dumbed down as an A&B rhyme scheme type dude. Like y'all put me on tracks with cats from all over, and I think I held my own.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely did. You know, we just pushed the envelope. You know what I mean? Like the shit that you look at like the shit that like Khaled does when he puts all different types of artists on the song and things like that. Like I had those visions way back then. You know what I mean? I wanted to get dudes together with different sounds, put them together on a track, see how they sound together, and just, you know, just sharpen the swords, man. That's all.
Yeah, it was dope. I really appreciate connecting with 25 and a whole bunch of other artists. Salute to him wherever he at. But how did you get into the mixtape game? I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm feeling the vibe. So let's just roll with it. How did you get into the mixtape game?
Okay, so like I said, man, growing up, I was always buying mixtapes. You know, where I'm from, we can go downtown, and they had the little booth set up in the corner with dudes was slinging the little mixtapes and everything. DJ Clue, Kid Capri, Doo-Wop, all of those, you know, big name DJs or whatever. And I always was a mixtape collector. You know what I mean? Like I said, that was a thing. I like dudes mixtapes more than I like their albums and shit like that. I like when dudes freestyle over other niggas' beats and, you know, just really get that real gritty, raw type feel from dudes. And you only really got that on mixtapes. So just growing up in that element, well, let me backtrack because I started DJing, you know, when I was young.
About how young?
Probably about 12, 13 years old.
Damn it, man. Yeah. Come on.
And yeah, and when I say DJing, man, I'm not talking about, you know, just making a playlist and playing some records, man. I'm talking about like, you know, I come from the element of scratching and backspinning and mixing and transforming and shit like that. You know, like one of my uncles, there's a legendary DJ from Jersey named DJ Cheese. He's from actually Plainfield, New Jersey. And this dude, he would like put sneakers and shit on his hands and handcuff himself to the back, and he could still get busy on the turntables. You know what I mean? With a blindfold on.
Hold on, man. You being serious?
Absolutely. You can look him up.
Physically, he would say that again. He do what?
Man, this nigga would put shit on his hands, socks or a pair of shoes or whatever, handcuff himself backwards, put on blindfold, and still get busy on the turntables. This dude is legendary. You can Google him. His name is DJ Cheese.
DJ Cheese. Okay.
Yeah. But my uncle, he came up under him. So when I started getting into the music and everything, I guess I've always been musically inclined to some degree. When I started getting into the music and stuff, he was the one that actually first showed me how to DJ. He put me on his turntables, showed me how to do this, how to do that, how to mark the records, how to make it sound like this, how to make it sound like that, how to transition them, how to mix them, how to blend and everything like that. So, 12, 13 years old, that's the type of shit I was doing as a hobby. And I kind of just picked it up from there. So, from that age, getting good. Me and my best friend, he wound up getting a set of turntables. I had a set of turntables, so we would be over at each other's house practicing for hours and hours and hours at a time. And we wound up doing little backyard parties and basement parties and shit like that. And like that at that time, man, we would get to these parties sometimes, and even parties that we weren't DJing. We'd go to parties a lot of times, and people in the parties, they out there dancing and moving, shaking around, feeling on girls, getting all up on their backsides and everything else. Well, me and my man, we'd be at the DJ booth, standing like this, just watching watching what he's doing, playing his records and critiquing everything. We laughing, oh, he can't do this or he can't do that. And a lot of times, dudes would see us, man, and kind of get mad, like we was agitating them or some shit. So it got to a point where in some spots, like especially like in little backyard parties and shit like that, they would give us an opportunity to get on the turntables. Okay. So like that was a wrap after that. So when they seen these little 12, 13, 14-year-old kids getting up on the tables doing the shit that they can do and even a little better, it kind of just, man, that type of, I don't know, that type of energy, man, that type of, it's like a wow moment. You know what I'm saying?
Leaders of the new school.
Yeah, man. So, DJing has always been a part of me. I said all of that to say that DJing has always been something I did, not seriously as a music career, but just something that I always was enjoying, something that I was always into. It was a hobby. So, like I said, now, transitioning into the point where I actually wanted to do it full time. Well, that's a whole story in itself too. But
okay, well, let me go back. So you say you're originally from where?
I'm originally from Newark, New Jersey. We call it the Brick City, East Orange, Irvington, Newark.
And you grew up there?
Yeah.
Okay, so growing up there, you know what I'm saying? Is that near New York and any of that?
Yeah, we like 15 minutes away from New York. Actually, you know what? I'm lying. New York is about 12 miles from where we at right now, but obviously through traffic and everything like that, it takes about 45 minutes to get there on a good day. But yeah, we're right next door, man. We right over the bridge or under the tunnel, whichever way you want to go. We next door.
Let me go back. So like growing up there and you was in school, did you play sports? Like what was you into?
No, I didn't play no sports, man. I was in the music. I was in the rapping and DJing. That was my thing.
You used to battle rap a little bit?
Hell yeah. Grew up doing that, ciphers and everything like that. The block I'm from, man, where I come from, all the guys from around this neighborhood, we used to kind of congregate in my man's basement. And that's what we would do. Me and my man, we would spin records, little break beats and shit, or dudes instrumentals. And we'll be in here rapping. You know what I mean? Me and my man was cutting up, scratching records and everything. And niggas is rapping, having ciphers. So we would battle each other. When I came up, being around dudes like Naughty by Nature, Queen Latifah, Redman, they were kind of big at the time. Lords of the Underground, the Outsiders, the Lords of the, damn, I said that. But anyway, people like that, they all from around this neighborhood. You know what I mean? So I watched them elevate. So the music, was just always something I was like, damn, man, that's dope. You know what I mean? That's dope. Like I said, just growing up, DJing and shit like that, being able to do it, it was just something that I always did.
Okay, so before I want to see do the chicken come before the egg or do the egg come before the chicken? So before rap, were you a pop locker or a break dancer?
I did a little bit of that, but I ain't never take it serious. You know what I mean? I was probably doing that when I was like 7, 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? Spinning on cardboard boxes and shit like that. I was a wicked back spinner. I could do that.
Could you windmill?
No, I couldn't quite do the windmill too well.
Okay. Man, let me tell you a quick Trill story. Down in Texas at McDonald's, you remember your boy Weird Al Yankovic?
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, that fool came to McDonald's and started a breakdance contest way back in the 80s. To get to the point, they let the local kids join and perform and do what they did with a chance to win whatever it was. But at the end of the event, like the headliners, now that I'm looking at it, he had all the opening acts, the local kids, and he probably was trying to find some talent. But we from Texas, boys ain't really break dancing like they doing up there. You know what I mean? Up east, up north. So at the end, he introduced this. I don't know if they Puerto Rican, Spanish, I don't know what they is, but these boys fit the mold, man. They got the baggy pants, they got the bandanas, they got the belts matching the shoes and the bandanas, and they had a dope ass crew name. Well, now it's the Devastating Five, whatever, you know what I mean? And man, they put that damn EC Sun Chic, on, man, them niggas went crazy in that mother. Them niggas, man, I'm talking about spinning on their hand, hopping, crabbing, windmilling, centipede. Them niggas created a totem pole at one point. Them niggas killed that shit. You see what I'm saying? And so at the end of the event, they talking about now we're gonna go to the judges. Nigga, you wasting everybody's time. You don't have to ask the judges a damn thing. Them fools you bought from up north, up east, and killed everybody.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the element I grew up in. You know what I mean? From the early '80s into the '90s and shit. Like that's the era that raised me, man. That's the era that groomed me. That's the shit that I love the most, man. You know, I'm hip hop runs through my blood, man. That shit is in my veins. I live, breathe, and sleep that shit. You know what I mean?
That's our culture, man, and that's why we here today. So we go from middle school, no sports, into some rapping, into some DJing. Was you on the girls back in middle school, or was you focusing on your grades? What you had going on?
I mean, yeah, of course I was on the girls. You know, I always been a pretty ass nigga and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Ahead, but at least you're a pretty nigga. Yeah, man, go ahead.
Yeah, you know, I'm a light skinned nigga, man. So you know, back then, coming up, it was a lot of beef between the dark skinned niggas and the light skinned niggas, man. That's just the era that I come from.
So
but
you was getting chose pretty often.
Yeah, of course, man.
So that would cause you to probably get into some disagreements or some physical altercations over them little young pissy ass girls, right?
I ain't fighting over no chicks, man. But you know, we had our fair share of altercations and scuffles and things like that. It wasn't always over no girls and no shit like that. But nonetheless,
you a player.
But you know, for real though, man, having the skills to hop on them tables or hopping on that mic or some shit like that brought a lot of attention to you as well. You know what I mean? So that was a plus for me.
Celebrity status.
Damn right, especially around the hood. You know what I'm saying? Shit, man, you can sit up and you know, we used to freestyle and shit back then too. I mean, off the head, off the dome and shit. So I was very good at that. And
so no wild, crazy fight in middle school.
Nah, not over no girls.
It could have been whatever. Like, you know, in middle school, we still trying to develop our brains. We don't know shit, and we just falling out for whatever reason. Like, you don't remember any kind of crazy fights you went through in middle school?
Well, you know what's crazy, man? You know, kids are evil.
Very.
I used to be evil. You know, a lot of times kids don't know what the fuck to say out their mouth and shit like that. And I lost my mother at a very young age. So those your mother jokes, you remember that? Your mother's so fat or whatever the case may be. Like those shits always tore me deep, man. And those type of situations would always cause me to get into scuffles. You know what I mean? You get the ranking on the kid, hiking and stuff like that, cracking jokes and shit back and forth. And once a nigga get to your mother status, it's a fight. It's on.
Man, I'm gonna give you a quick one. Trill story. Man, I was in elementary school and we had a fire drill. I don't know if y'all called them fire drills back then. But we left out the building, went lined up on the playground or whatever. And I had a kid that was like a friend. But he really was a friend of me type nigga. And so we used to play the dozens like y'all. We used to, you know, battle, whatever. But this one kid, he was a little older than me, and we had a good rapport. We were cool, but we happened to fall off into being opponents playing a dozen. And so I'm doing my little corny little jokes or whatever. And so the friend of me, nigga, who acting like he really my partner, but he really like trying to set me up all the time. He tell me, you want to win the battle? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? He like, tell that nigga his mama this and his mama that. Little that I know, man, that kid had just lost his mom within a day or two.
Yeah.
That nigga who supposed to be my partner, he knew that the whole time.
Oh, yeah. So he lined you up.
He lined me up so smooth, man. When I let them words come out my mouth, all the other kids knew too. So instead of all the ha ha he, man, I'm talking about crickets, dead silence.
You was the bad guy at that point.
Man, this nigga was a dark-skinned nigga, man. That nigga eyes turned red. That nigga looked at like Satan. That nigga say, nigga, my mama just died. Nigga, I'ma kill you. I say, I'm sorry, old chap. You know what I mean? I ain't mean no harm, but it's the whole school out there. So this nigga scheduled me for after school to kick my ass, and I showed up, but I was showing up to put my hand out to say, man, I honestly didn't know. But when I put my hand out, that nigga punched me in my shit and beat my motherfucking ass down to the ground like a hound. Damn it, man.
Yeah,
I get it.
I can imagine, man. I feel that pain because that's how I felt, man. When anybody said your mother this or your mother that, man, everything else is out the window. It's on and popping from that point on.
So who actually raised you?
I was raised by my grandmother.
Okay. What were your dad at, if you want to answer that?
At a young age, he wasn't really around. My dad didn't come back into my life till I was like in my mid-teenage years. My mother and my father had separated when I was like just born. So I hadn't really had an opportunity. Well, he didn't be in my life, which is actually funny because my father's mother is who raised me, my grandmother on his side.
Hold on. You at your father's mama house, your grandmother.
Yeah.
But he still ain't coming in and out the house fooling with young Truth?
Nah, he actually lived in a whole nother part of Jersey, man, about an hour and a half away or whatever. So it wasn't like a thing where he was like right around the corner or anything like that. Not to make no excuses for him or nothing, but nah, he didn't really show back up. He had actually got remarried and had a whole nother family and everything like that. And he didn't really show back up in my life till after that marriage dissolved and he got divorced, and he actually came back to his mother's house and whatever. And that's kind of how we reconnected. But I was like in my teens by that time.
I ain't trying to be, no sentimental wuss, but you my brother. And I want to say, at some point in time as a kid, I had a desire to hang out with my dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he didn't stay that far. And I don't remember, I think it was maybe around 12 years old. He always say he would come pick me up. But I remember waiting at the end of that gate so many times to where when he finally said he was coming and didn't show up, I'm like, I was hurt. I was broke, but I was like, I don't give a fuck if you ever show up again. I'm not waiting on you no more. Like, did you ever go through an experience like that where you felt torn apart because he didn't come fool with you?
Nah, I never really had that because we didn't really have a connection. You know what I mean? He never really promised to come get me or promised to show up or nothing like that. He just really wasn't around. He had created a whole new life for a whole new family and stuff, and that's what he was doing. When I think back on it now, I can't sit here and say like he might have disowned me or anything like that, because once he did show back up in my life, I could see that the love was genuine. I mean, I was his only son. Looked just like him.
Me too.
Looked just like him, got the same name and everything. I'm actually a third. But I could see he had a lot of issues himself. He had a lot of things that he was going through and things like that. And like I said, I didn't get to witness that till I was in my teens. So I didn't have too much what's it called?
Animosity.
Animosity towards him at that point. I was happy that he was there at that point, just so I could get to know him, get to, meet him and be around him and things like that. But like I said, he had a lot of issues himself, man. So it wasn't a thing of, I just didn't hold that type of animosity towards him. We didn't have no broken promises and all that type of shit. Me coming up, he just wasn't around. You know what I mean?
I just wanted you to throw a ball at me. I just wanted you to teach me how to turn a wrench.
Yeah.
Put air in my bike.
Yeah.
Tell me about the birds and the bees. You never took me fishing, man.
Yeah, like we did some of that stuff when he finally did come back in my life and everything. But by that point, I was kind of in the streets at that point.
Nigga blowing, getting Kagoga drink, nigga a grown man.
Yeah, I was a totally different person than what he left or whatever. So I was into a lot more other shit other than throwing footballs and baseballs and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let me ask you this. What age would you say you jumped off the porch?
It depends on what you really mean when you say jump off the porch now. Because like I said, coming up, man, where I'm from, we always had like neighborhood posses and I guess you would refer to it as a gang now, but that's not what we called it back then. So, everybody that grew up in my neighborhood, right around my block, within a 2-block radius or whatever, we all congregated together, and we might be beefing or something with kids from 2 blocks away or whatever the case may be. But it was like that all around Jersey. Like all the different blocks had a whole group of individuals, and they made a name for themselves or whatever, and that's what they went by. So if you mean jumping off the porch as far as just like wilding out in the street and fighting and carrying weapons and things like that, let
me break it down. Let me break it down. So as a young boy in the hood,
yeah,
there's a naive gullibleness and an innocence is there. It's a presence.
Yeah.
But you being in this violent environment, you being in this jungle, you unaware of the dangers. But something happens at a certain age where your eyes open, then you become aware. You either get afraid and you run in the house and hide away from that shit, or you say, fuck it, I'm here.
I was definitely all in it. You know what I mean? I came up in the crack era, man. So, I lost my mother when I was 9 years old, and my grandparent, you're missing a whole generation. It's a generational gap there from being 9, 10 years old to my grandparents, who were probably in their 50s, I guess, at the time. And, they couldn't really keep up with me, man. I'm running out the house and everything. We stealing bikes and all kind of shit. My neighborhood, nigga, we was into all of that kind of shit. Stealing cars is real big and popular where I'm from. At one point in time, North New Jersey was like, at one time, North New Jersey, man, was like the #1 city in the world, not the United States, but the world for carjacking and stealing cars and shit. Yeah, that's where they made the movie New Jersey Drive and shit. Kind of showing that.
What they would do with the cars, they would take them to chop shops or they would joyride.
Older dudes would take them to chop shops because they had those type of connections, but the younger dudes was just joyriding. Like we was just joyriding. You know what I mean?
Man, Trill. Man, I know an old nigga back in I'm talking about the 40s, 50s, and 60s, 70s. This nigga, him and his partner stole a car to go joyriding, and they gave that baby 10 years in prison. This nigga was not even 15 years old. This nigga stayed in prison from like damn near 12, 13 years. 12, 13, all the way up to he was damn near 20 something.
Yeah, I can't like remember anybody who got serious time for stealing cars. I mean, it was so rampant, man. Like that wasn't it was definitely something that I guess police were concerned with and everything like that, but it happened so much. Like I can't remember dudes getting some time. You might go to juvie for a month or two or get locked up and they release you to your parents and shit like that. But I can't really remember dudes getting a whole lot of time out here for stealing cars. I tell you what, when I got to high school, man, I remember this one kid that was in my class, and this nigga, he would steal a car and drive to school. And you know, when we at school or whatever, through the course of the day, the car might get found wherever he parked it. They might get found, and the cops will come and take it, tow it away or whatever. And if he would come outside and his stolen car wasn't where he parked it, he'd just steal another car to go back home. And he did this like every day. It's crazy.
This nigga was habitual.
Yeah, that was his thing. You know what I mean? That was his thing. And so a lot of guys that I grew up with, some of them, that was their thing. That wasn't really my thing. I was just kind of having fun with the guys around me. But some dudes, like, that was their thing. They stole cars. You know what I mean? They stole cars. Some dudes sold drugs. Some dudes robbed niggas and things like that. So it all kind of depends on what you were into, I guess, what you put more focus on to. I was never really big into stealing cars. I was just into joyriding, riding around with niggas who would steal them. You know what I mean? I wasn't stealing them. I hop in that passenger seat, though, real quick.
What about stealing out the store? Like, you ever was a kid that stole candy?
Nah, I ain't steal candy, but I used to steal little G.I. Joe, man.
So you stole
the little G.I. Joes, yeah, little toys and shit.
So you wasn't hungry.
Huh?
You wasn't hungry.
What you mean? Oh, nah. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. We stole little candy and shit like that, but that wasn't. I never really been no thief,
hungry.
Yeah, I never really been no thief, man. That ain't never really been my thing, stealing too much.
Nah, I can't steal either, man. You gotta forgive me, man. You at the Trill cast, so it just happened, man, sporadically. Trill story, man. Say, man, my little brother was a thief, man. This nigga used to steal like a mofo. But man, this beautiful Mexican lady used to run this one store, and she wound up buying the store later in life. That's another Trill story in myself. I got to go sit down with her and do an interview with her. But long story short, man, she used to work hard at this store, and she trusted us to play Pac-Man while she was occupied doing whatever. But she took a bucket of ice and said, kids, y'all play the game. I'm finna go outside and dump it. You did? Man, when she went outside, my antennas came on. I looked at my brother. This nigga went grab about 52 motherfucking candy bars and stuck them bitches around his belt loop. He say, well, get you some. I don't know how to steal. Nigga, I grab a brownie and put that bitch in my waistband. She come back in. We gotta go home. My mama say, we need to go home right now. We start walking out the door. Man, that damn brownie dropped down. My pants went down by my motherfucking knee, fell out by my bad shoes. Nigga, I kicked that goddamn brownie further down the sidewalk so she wouldn't see it, but she saw it. And once we got down the goddamn street and busted a right, nigga, I opened up that brownie like, ooh, I stole me a brownie. Soon as I bit down on that bitch, nigga, I stepped on the rusty nail. Damn it, boy.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I know I was around some niggas that was habitual thieves. You know what I mean? They stole everything that wasn't nailed down. But that just wasn't me. You know, at a young before my mother passed, before I was living with my grandmother, where we lived at in Jersey, there used to be a corner store right on the corner, and I walked to school every day. So I would like always have little nickels and dimes, quarters and shit like that. And what I would do was buy all of those little small candies and shit from the store in the morning. And when I went to school, I was selling candy. I used to sell candy. Like, that was my first hustle, man. You talking about when I was like 9, 10, well, about 7, 8 years old. I was in the school selling candy. And I say that to say, even when I got to the point where we was stealing bikes, now I would steal bikes. That's something I would definitely do. I'll knock a nigga off his bike, take it, and everything like that. And my grandfather,
You was a bully.
Yeah, some people called me that. But my grandfather, he always worked on cars and things like that. So he always had a lot of tools and shit in the basement and in the driveway and all of that. So I was the one where our little neighborhood kids, they would steal the bikes. They'd bring them to my house because I had all the tools to break them down and strip them, take the wheels off, take the handlebars off, take off the brakes, and we could swip them, swap, match, mix and match and shit like that.
So, a bike chop shop.
Yeah, basically, yeah, exactly. A bike chop shop, exactly. So I went from like selling candy to selling bike parts and shit like that and fixing niggas' bikes and stuff. And all of this will come full circle is what I'm saying is I always had a little change. You know what I mean? I always had a little hustle in me. So I didn't really have to steal out the stores and shit like that. I was buying my friends stuff and shit like that when we went to the store. Whatever they wanted, I'd get it. A little ice cream truck coming down the block. I'm buying everybody ice cream and all that type of shit. So, I guess I didn't know it then. That's what it was. But I guess now looking back, that's just the hustle mentality that I had, man. I always been able to find a way to make money, man. When the 4th of July used to come around, you know what I mean? Kids would go to New York to Chinatown and buy all the firecrackers and shit like that. The older kids, and they would come back to the hood and be selling fireworks and everything like that. I'd buy up fireworks from the niggas and resell them shits. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
you always been a how could I say, a vendor.
Basically, I always found a way to make a little money, man, and put some change in my pocket. You know what I mean? Because I didn't grow up having a lot of things, prior to moving with my grandmother. When I moved with my grandmother, things were a little more stable. But with my mother, as a single mother raising me in Jersey and everything, she was working 2-3 jobs and everything like that. It wasn't always a pleasant situation. You know what I mean? She made sure I had clothes on my back and food to eat, but it wasn't always very pleasant. So coming from that to being able to support myself, even at a young age of 9-10 years old, felt good to me. You know what I mean? Because a lot of my friends weren't doing that.
Let me ask you this. I'm thinking we're speaking around the same time. Let me give you this quick story, then we'll get to it. Trill's story. Mm-hmm. It was a kid he wasn't really liked. He was pretty ugly. He looked like a rhinoceros with a Tyrannosaurus motherfucking Rex. Oh, ugly ass nigga. But he was cool. He was my partner. And, the nigga used to be ashy and all that shit. And the girls they ain't want nothing to do with him. But one day, he picked about 6-7 of us, and long story short, he like, man, y'all want to go to the store? We like, no, not with your ugly ass. But then he was like, man, it's on me. Everybody like, yeah. We were kind of like hesitant because this nigga ain't never invited 5, 6, 7 people to the store. But when we got to the store, homie pulled out them food stamps. Down in Texas, nigga, we used to have them books of food stamps with that bell on that bitch, with them brown ones, with them, them purple. Yeah, y'all had that?
Of course.
Bitch was called food coupon. Yeah, nigga. But yeah, the nigga took us to the store, man, and bust out them damn food stamps, telling everybody, get what you want. I'm talking about long story short, he did that shit for about 2-3 months straight until finally his mama came to the school with a extension cord and a leather belt and whooped that nigga ass for 20 minutes with the leather belt, and then whooped that nigga ass for 5 minutes with the extension cord. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Now,
He probably deserved it.
That's just a Trill story. I'm kind of like, a little thrown off. I'm kind of going to these tendons. What I wanted to ask, like, you said things were kind of rough back then.
Yeah.
What was your tennis shoes game like, and your clothes game like what type of shit you was wearing back then, the brands?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. When I prior to going to live with my grandmother, everything that my mother used to get, like I never really had brand new stuff until I went with my grandmother. So I came up wearing like hand-me-downs and shit from older cousins and stuff like that. Shoes might have been a little bit too big on my feet. You know what I mean? Clothes might have been not good.
My bad, my nigga.
I mean, that's what it was. You know what I mean? In the neighborhoods, man, that I've lived and come up in, everybody was broke, man. So only people that really had money was, drug dealers and shit like that. So when everybody around you is broke, you don't really know how broke you are. You know what I mean? You kind of just fitting in, doing what everybody else is doing. So, I would get new stuff like on Easter. Easter, okay. Grandma always take you to get a brand new outfit and shit like that.
Yeah,
those were like,
Easter soup.
And Christmas, you get a little bit of things here and there. But, as a young kid, you don't want fucking clothes. You want toys and video games and all that type of shit. So I wasn't really impressed with the clothes and everything like that.
So in Texas, all right, those holidays you named, definitely, we expected some new shit, rather it be a couple of new things, one new thing, whatever. But we had this thing at the beginning of the school year. That's like the most major thing, like school.
Yeah, I forgot
clothes,
that.
The beginning of the school year.
I forgot the beginning of the school year. Yeah. First day of school, you got to be fresh.
Okay, so what kind of name brand? Well, hand me down. Did you get handed down some old school Chuck Taylors that used to be
Nah,
cream color, but now them
we
hoes
didn't do the
blue
Chuck
brown?
Taylors and shit. We had, let me think, what we had back then? We had like the Adidas shell toes. We had
Okay, we wore that.
The Nike Cortez.
We wore that.
What else? What else? I remember when these Nike first started making these things called Delta Force, and when
We
they
wore
first started
that.
putting the air to the name, and you know what I mean. And let me say this too. You know, like when Jordans first came out, around my way, man, kids was getting killed for them things. You know what I mean?
God
This is the era where Jordans came out, 8-ball jackets was out, you know, the big
damn. Yeah.
rope chains and everything like that. So if you was a kid that had that type of shit, triple fat gooses and things like that,
What is that? Now I heard that. What is a triple fat goose?
it's like a big bubble coat. It's got goose feathers on the inside of it. It's real warm. Back then they was reversible. Um, I believe that was the name of the company, Triple Fat Goose, if I'm not mistaken. But they made like trench coats or snorkels, is what we call them, is the waist length joints with the big hood and the fur around them and shit like that.
Yeah, that shit clean.
Yeah. I believe they've made like a re-entry back into society. I see a couple people wearing them here and there. But back then, you know what I mean? Certain things that you might have on, shit, man, niggas didn't really want to wear it because you didn't want the trouble and the problems that came with having that type of shit on, especially around my neighborhood.
So you talking about like not robbing the individual for what's in his pocket or the jewelry if he had any. He want a nigga tennis shoe.
Nigga gonna take the tennis shoes, the coat, what's in your pocket, the jewelry, and everything else. But you know, the coat or whatever might draw his attention. The sneakers might draw his attention. You really stood out, you know what I mean, if you had on some Jordans at that time. You know what I mean?
And niggas
And
was getting killed over them shoes.
yeah, man, I know a few kids that got killed over them shoes or beat up bad, you know, stabbed or whatever the case may be, cut, things like, you know, all of that nature.
Man,
It was kind of and that wasn't just my neighborhood. That's like the whole New York, New Jersey area. You know, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens. Like they was known for that.
Right. So you had British Nikes.
I didn't have British. Now I never liked them, but a couple other kids did. I'm trying to think of some other brands we had. We had like the E-Tonics, the Felis.
I saw the E-Tonics in the East Bay, but I never got in it. Felines, we wore that. What about Troops?
Yeah, we had Troops. We definitely had Troops. Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of pants you would wear? What kind of breeches? What kind of jeans did you have?
Well, back then, let me think, man. It was always Levi's or there was this clothing brand called Bugle Boy. That's what my grandmother used to buy me a lot.
You was rich, hell you mean? You started off talking about Levi's and Bugle Boys. Nigga, we had Rustlers and Wranglers and Smacks. Fuck you talking about?
All right, well, see, around here, man, if you was caught wearing like Lee's or Wranglers or anything like that, you was gonna be the ass of everybody's jokes.
Yeah. Okay.
Nobody wants to be the ass of nobody's jokes and shit. You know, like you had some I think Biggie had mentioned it in a song sometime where they said a dude would snatch the tags off your shit. I know around my way, if you had on some like Lee's, not Levi's, but Lee's, Lee, you know, if the nigga caught you with some of them on, they're gonna snatch the patch off the back of them joints. You know what I mean?
Brown patch.
Yeah, they're gonna snatch the back off of them and give you a nice good wedgie to go with it. You know what I mean?
Man, you know the most troublesome shit I remember. I had a
What's
brother who he knew about different brands and whatnot. I didn't really understand it, but man, he'd come home with these $5 shirts from Dollar General, and somehow he would find the La Tigres and the lacrosse gators and the tigers.
Yeah.
And he would surgically remove them bitches off the old shirt he had from somebody. And he'd take them bitches and glue them bitches on the $5 shirt that he got from Dollar General. And he was able to wear that shit and get away with it. But when I would put that shit on, nigga walk up to me and say, "Give me that." Nigga snatch my tiger off my chest. Damn it, man. You know?
Yeah.
You don't want to look at my neck to see, man, what's wrong with niggas? Why you worried about my neck tag, my nigga?
Yeah, that's, I don't know, man. Like I said earlier, man, kids is evil, man. Kids is
That's an
evil.
alligator, nigga. That's a real gator, nigga. That bitch will bite you.
Yeah. And then, of course, as time went on, cross colors came out and
Okay.
damage. I got Jamaican family and everything like that, and they were always big on the damage clothing line or whatever. I don't know if y'all
Never
had
heard of
that
that.
out there or not. Yeah, we used to rock these jeans called Damage. They used to have like whole jean outfits, the jacket and the jeans to go with it and shit like that.
That shit sounds dope. But I remember the Bugle Boy.
I'm trying to think what a Oshkosh Bagosh. You know what I
I thought
mean? I
that
had
was for
that.
babies.
Well, when you're talking like elementary school and shit, I had some of that stuff on. I think, if I can remember correctly.
Or you wanted it.
I might have wanted it. Maybe that's it.
Did y'all ever
Maybe
have to
that's
go
it.
like to places that distributed to low income families free items, like maybe a couple of wardrobe, couple of pair of drawers, socks, t-shirts? You know what I'm saying? You fill out a voucher and you go in there and it's like you going through a commodity line. They hang you some welfare cheese, but they giving you a couple of outfits. You ever had to go through that?
I never went personally. I don't know if my mother used to do that or not. I probably did. She was a thrifter a lot of times, so she would go to like flea markets and little thrift stores and stuff like that and buy used clothes and stuff, gently used shit and everything like that. But like I was saying, I can't really never remember having
That nigga say
brand new.
gently used. That nigga say gently used.
Yeah, that's what they call it. You know what I mean? That's what they call it, gently
Nigga, I
used
don't
and shit
remember
like
getting
that.
no gently used shit. When I used to get a pair of used jeans, them hoes smell like fire. You know what I'm saying?
That was another brand, matter of fact. It was a brand called Used Jeans. Yep. That was another
Damn.
brand that was right at that
I
time.
remember used and remember BOSS,
Yeah, yeah.
Coca-Cola.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now you in high school and you got your shit together now. You got some name brand tennis shoes, name brand jeans and shit. You a
Yeah.
pretty nigga, you pulling girls. Is you getting good grades? Did you graduate? What happened at high school?
High school, I did enough just to get by, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. As far as being fly and everything was like a main priority for me. So by high school, like I said, I've always been a little getting a little change here and there from my little hustles and shit. So I was able to buy a lot of my own shit by the time I was in high school. So I was wearing a lot of polo. I had a friend of mine, man, his mother worked at like a polo outlet or something. And he would have like massive amounts of clothes and polo, and he would kind of like supply the whole block and stuff. So a lot of us that came up in my little clique or whatever, we always wore a lot of polo, you know what I mean, Ralph Lauren and shit like that.
I started hating on polo.
Oh yeah, that's always been a big thing for me, man. But too, at that time, we talking about high school, that's when the rap brands really started coming out, like Fat Farm and Fubu and Carl Kanai and shit like that.
Ice Boy.
Who?
Ice Boy.
I don't remember Ice Boy. I never heard of that.
Iceberg?
Oh yeah, Iceberg. Yeah, absolutely. With the Snoopy and all of that shit on it.
Yeah. And then Platinum Fubu.
Yeah. Well, we went through our phase of Fubu and Echo and and then too, Fat Farm. Absolutely. A big thing up here, up north, man. Well, definitely up north, but particularly Jersey, this part of Jersey where I'm from, we wore a lot of army fatigue stuff. You know what I mean? Camouflage pants and the camouflage coats and shit like that. And that was like a lot of dudes' everyday attire. You know what I mean? We might have one of,
Would you say that y'all niggas was shell shocked?
Nah, man. You know what it was? Man? When I don't know if you remember when Naughty by Nature came out, the way that they used to dress.
Yeah.
So we kind of took on a liking to that. It's like it's almost like you buying stuff, but you buying stuff to look broke. You know what I mean?
Right. New shit, but you look, I get it. Like you coming out the gutter, coming out
the gutter, ready for warfare type shit. We always had on the Timberland boots and the fatigue army camouflage pants or the all green ones or whatever, big black hoodies, champion hoodies with the big We call them cone heads because it cover your whole head when you put the hoodie on.
Okay.
That company Carhartt that does all the work clothes and everything like that. We would have those type of jackets and vests and shit like that.
I
So it
just
wasn't
started
really.
seeing that. Like, I just started, like, people wear that down here now. I just started seeing it. Let me ask you this: rapper shoes. You know, Birdman came out with the Lug.
Yeah, I never did those.
Master P came out. I don't know what them ugly motherfuckers was back then, but he came out with some shit.
Yeah, I never did none of that. You get laughed at around my way with that type of shit on.
So any rapper shoe that came out that you wore?
Never.
Well, let me tell you this. One of the bestest pair of comfortable shoes I ever had was some damn S. Carter Reebok.
Those were probably the only ones that I would have considered buying, but I never got a pair. I never wore no rapper shoe. You know, we would Jersey dudes is into boots, man. So we got this company. We always call them Gore-Tex because they made a Gore-Tex, but it's a company called Vasquez. And anytime you see these boots on a dude's feet, even to this day and age, you know he's from Jersey. You know, a lot of New Yorkers wore them too, but they weren't like they everyday thing. Jersey niggas, we wore Vasquez Gore-Tex boots and Timberland boots. That was like everyday attire.
So
You had to
do they look similar to the Timberlands and Gore-Tex? Do they look similar?
No, they don't look nothing alike. They don't do nothing alike. And they're not comfortable either. They hard as bricks, man. You got to break them in. You know what I'm saying? You got to break them in. But it didn't matter because it was just a Jersey thing. You know what I mean? That's just what everybody wore out here. Vasquez Gore-Tex boots.
So high school, you already, you know, baptized in the hood. You know what I'm saying? You got the girls, you DJing, you're a rapper. When would you say you first went to jail?
My first time in jail, wasn't until I was about 19.
Okay.
And I had transitioned to Virginia by that time. And
you was in VA.
Yeah, I was in VA at that time. And when I first transitioned to VA, like you just said, I mean, I'm graduated now. I'm out in the streets at this point. I'm doing a lot of things. And when I went to Virginia, you know, that was such a shell shock to me because it wasn't something that I wanted to do. I just wound up going with my family. It was something that they wanted to do. And I immediately gravitated towards the streets out there. You know, I got locked in with a few dudes, and they were into guns. They were into guns heavy. And one thing about me growing up too, like we didn't have a lot of guns in the neighborhood. I mean, they were around, but it wasn't like we was using guns. We didn't grow up carrying guns and shit like that. So they weren't like something that was plentiful. When I got to Virginia, guns were everywhere. They were plentiful. You could get your hands on them like no problem. $200-$300 and shit. You can buy guns. And I wound up getting into with some guys who were heavy into the guns and shit like that. So in my mind, like I said, now I'm a hustler mentality. In my mind, I'm thinking, well, shit, I know these type of guns go for double, triple, quadruple the amount that y'all niggas is paying out here for them. I could take some of these shits back home and make a killing.
How far is that trip back home?
About 5 hours.
So you got to ride dirty.
Got to ride dirty, man. Riding dirty. But I started doing that. I started riding back and forth up and down the highway, transporting guns and shit like that. And my first time in jail, I actually got caught, and I got pulled over in Maryland, and they locked me up. That was my first little taste of jail, man. I got caught with like 2 Tech 9s, and I think it was 2 Tech 9s and a sawed-off shotgun, some shit like that. Can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah.
How much time you get for that?
You know, I actually beat that case, man. I actually beat that case. The only time I did for it was the time it took me to be locked up for them to give me a bond in maybe 2 or 3 days for somebody to come get me.
That's what's up. Well, look, I gotta make a move, right? And I know you got some events tonight. Man, let me know if that's true about what you said. You know, that welcome home party. We ain't gonna say no name right now, but let me know if that's true later on. But okay. I wanna get off into your story a bit deeper. You know what I mean? We'll pick up where we left off and go from there. But let me say this. Trill Cast, man, we appreciate y'all. And I want to say my brother just came home from doing a 12-year bid. But you know what I mean? We'll get to that. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And if y'all want to shout them out, welcome home, y'all do so right now. And if it's anything that you want to share with us right now, social media handles, anything like that, where people can follow you, subscribe to you, go and let us know.
Oh yeah, so I mean, I'm on everything. Like you said, I just came home. I've been home about 2 months now. So I'm kind of fresh. I'm learning the technology and things like that. I'm not too well seasoned yet, but I'm getting to it. But I'm on everything. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Everything is under T Parker Speaks.
T Parker Speaks. Okay. And that's on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, OnlyFans. What else?
I ain't on OnlyFans yet.
My nigga said, yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Nah, that's what's
I ain't
up,
on
man.
OnlyFans yet. I heard about it. I haven't even been on it to check it out. I heard it's a lot of shit going on that joint, but yeah, just everything that's out as far as social media is concerned. Anything that happens to come out later on, it'll all be under T Parker Speaks.
Okay. Well, look, man, you be safe out there tonight. You know what I'm saying? Make it back home in one piece.
No
God
doubt.
bless you. And I'll get at you soon and we'll do this again. I'm a fool
Yes,
with my
sir.
people a little bit.
All right, that's what it is, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Man, anytime, man. Every time.
That's what it is.
My
Salute.
nigga, I get at you. Yeah, Trill Cast, man, I miss y'all, man. I ain't lying, and man, I miss y'all. I wish I would have never left y'all. I had to leave, though. I had to get back to the real world. I was losing my identity online with all these clowns and all these marks. But I'm back. You know what I mean? Now, I'm back with a purpose, man. And I want to say this. Salute to everybody that dropped down and got the eagle on. Now, salute to everybody, man, that got that damn book, man. Y'all after thine own heart. You don't know how good that make me feel. You don't know how it feel. You don't know how it feel. You don't know how it feel to be Trill. Oh, man, yeah, man. Everybody who went got that book, man, I appreciate you. We ain't even got started. The book been out about a month. Everybody who went left the Trill reviews, man, that's what's up, man. I like it and love it and want some more of it. If you haven't went got that book, we got the hard copies now. We got the ebook. We got the paperback. Go get that book. This is what I've been telling y'all for a long time. Hold on, man. I ain't no hoe boy. I've been telling y'all we're gonna do this here shit, nigga. Yeah, it's right here now. I manifested it. You see what I'm saying? I told y'all I was gonna do this here. Don't act like I ain't been setting y'all up telling y'all I'm about to drop the book. Down with the Kings by Herbert Mouton, aka Hezeleo. Dedication. This book is dedicated to my mother and my second mother in the music industry, Mama West, to Pimp C, and to my brother, Ernest Ray. This book is dedicated to these people because they were some of the people who loved me and pushed me to be all they knew that I could be. Come on, man. Yeah, I write like that, nigga. And I got pictures off in here. You see what I'm saying? That's my brother I was talking about, the one that passed away. You see what I'm saying? R.I.P. to Ray. Yeah, we got beautiful pictures off in this thing. That's my beautiful mother. You see what I'm saying? That's my beautiful mother right there. Oh, yeah, cutting. This the real deal. So if you haven't went got that book, all you got to do is go to trillgear.biz and get you a copy. Get the hard copy or get the paperback. We going to the top with this one, y'all. I already seen it. I already felt it. I already tasted it. This is a different lane, okay? So continue to support Hezeleo. Continue to elect me to the position where you know I should have been filled. How do you elect me? By punching that ballot, going to trillgear.biz and ordering your copy. The job is not done. I hate to be a beggar or someone who has to ask so much, but I need you after that to go to Amazon.com and leave a review on the book. That helped the book get into the algorithm of Amazon. We had to get in the algorithm of YouTube, and we did that. But we need to get in the algorithm of Amazon. So leave a review. All you haters out there, say whatever you want to say in the review. I don't give a damn. But leave a review. And at least buy the ebook. If you old hating ass, funky ass, knock needed, pigeon dope, cockeyed ass, hating ass nigga, at least buy the ebook. You know the mean, po broke motherfucker. Nah, get that physical book. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay there, you understand? I'm going to get my old Sharpie over here, and I'm going to write you a Dear John letter. Dear John, thank you for purchasing my book. I am so happy you found my story. Now read it, you old illiterate motherfucker. Damn it, boy. But nah, man, all I want to say is I appreciate every last one of y'all. Zay Sanchez wound up backdooring the paperback, then said, man, I even want a hard copy. It's going to be hard for y'all to keep up with Zay Sanchez because he keep it way too Trill with his Trill brother from Port Arthur, Texas. But by now, I know a lot of y'all have seen this video. I think it was posted by the rapper Highway Yellow. He's a freestyle rapper, but he can pin up something too. You know what I mean? He's out of Louisiana, but he got a Texas style. Well, he was at the cemetery. What he was doing at the cemetery, if you hold up, I'll tell you. He was at Pimp C's mausoleum. And while he was there, he was doing a little content. He was doing a little filming. And while he was filming, he captured a Trill hat with the Trill gear shield with the gold cellophane sticker on the bill. Now he professed and said, Hezeleo must have been here. You are incorrect indirectly. But I have supporters. And I would believe one of my supporters who purchased the Trill hat placed that Trill hat on Pimp C's mausoleum. So no, it wasn't me. But was it from trillgear.biz? It was. R.I.P. to the pimp. Who did it? I don't know. But that's the sentiment that they felt. So, hey, man, God bless y'all all for liking us and loving us and supporting us the way you do. Praying for us, holding us up, going to our events, purchasing our products. You know what I mean? That means a lot because you ain't got to do that. But I appreciate you. From the bottom of my heart. Come on, man. Yeah, so what's up with y'all, man? I want to read some of these comments before I go. Let me see who was off in here, man. You know I got to show love to the Trill kids, man. Don't play no games. I ain't no hoe boy. You see what I'm saying? I don't treat my people wrong, man. I treat my people right. Let me see. We're going to play a little old record, and we're going to shout out some of these people. Yeah. Let's see what we got. Who was in here? I'll get to the comments. Let me see. There we go. I'm at the comments. I'm going to start at the top. Who was in here, man? Who came through here and showed some love to my homie DJ for show, a.k.a. Truth? Okay. I'm talking about Soul Brother was in here. Edward was in here. Melanie stayed down for her crown. I'm talking about little Jordan 49 came through this thing. Soul Brother was back off in his thing, plus Edward and who else? He came with the $2 suit. Y'all niggas still know the suit? I realized that the soup ain't broke. You see what I'm saying? The soup is not broke, and Melanie stayed for a long time. Man, we had Draymond Spratley come through here for quite some time. Then Zay Sanchez popped up on us, you know what I'm saying? Popped the trunk. And then we had another super soup from Soul Brother again. He came with the $3. You know what I'm talking about, man? It's trees up worth of soup. Man, we had Corey Williams come through this thing. Who else? I'm still reading. Man, we had Texas Flanagan come through this thing. Man, you know we always welcoming y'all to the Trill cast because y'all are part of this. So who else came through? Man, we had Jay Dooley came through, you know what I'm talking about, and blew a Swisher Sweet and drank a 40 ounce with her. You know what I mean? Who else came through this thing, man? I just want to show some love, man. Shout y'all out. Let y'all know I ain't forgot about y'all. If you haven't, go ahead and get that book. Dev Head, hey, look, this is what I need y'all to do right now. I need y'all to pray for Dev's Head, okay? When y'all get off this live, I ain't got to tell you what's really going on. All I tell you is this. Together, we come together in prayer, praying for Dev's Head. And any other Trill cast member that's going through something, because we all going through something. But right now, we want to uplift Dev's Head in prayer. Y'all make sure y'all do that. You hear me? In Jesus' name. Hey, man, salute to Dev's Head, man. Appreciate you, man. God bless you and cover you and keep you protected. Let's see. Man, we had Longs, Texas come through here. Man, I don't know when he been. He probably been in jail. You know what I'm talking about? Jail. Nah, I ain't going to put that on my man. My man probably been taking care of business like grown men do. You see what I'm saying? Then we had somebody new in here named Jay Jordan. Show us a pic of Pimp. Maybe next time. I didn't get to see that. You know what I'm talking about? I recant. Let me see. I don't know what he said. But appreciate you coming through. Subscribe if you happen. Go get that book. Take a look. You did. So who else came through that I missed? Melanie, you know what I'm talking about? We had Mr. Already come through this thing. What's up, homie? Yeah. Who else? If I miss your name, I don't mean no disinfect. Oh, I ain't missed that soup. Well, we got some Canadian greens off on here. We got some Canadian greens off in here from Melanie, man. We sure appreciate that, like it and love it, and want some more of it. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about like it and love it, and please give me some more of it. Man, we got O'Brien in here. He say he the king of chess. I don't know what that means, but he been saying that for quite some time. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all stay tuned. Them boys say they want some lugs. Yeah, I remember them lugs. But yeah, y'all stay. Hey, before I go, what was Master P shoe name? Who remember Master P shoe? What was that first shoe that Master P put out? What them shits was called? Salute to Master P. He a hell of a hustler, and he won that verses. Salute to Master P, and he won that verses. But what was them shoes Master P and them put out? I remember Pimp say, nigga, we don't want your shoes or your ugly ass clothes. Damn it, man. That nigga Pimp was wrong. Nigga, we don't want them shoes and them ugly ass clothes. Now, what was the name of them shit that nigga put out? Oh, P. Miller. Man, y'all niggas slow, nigga. P. Miller, nigga, I had to remember that shit. But look, man, I'm going to come back. I'm going to get, caught up with my partner. He got some business to go handle. It's a major artist coming home. We ain't going to reveal that right now. You know what I'm talking about? But he's supposed to be coming home. He going to the welcome home party, and he got some other events he got to go do. He's still in the game, but he will come back, and we're going to get back into it. But he like family, you know what I mean? So y'all just treat him like that. And I'll be touching bases with y'all, coming with more interviews. I'm going to keep dropping y'all some content. And we just going to keep on Trill casting and lasting. And like I said, go get the book. Leave a review, and that's all I need you to do right now. If you don't do nothing else in life, go do that for your boy. Man, I'm going to play this record, and then I got to get out of here. You know what I'm talking about? I appreciate y'all coming through, fooling with me because you cool with me, because I believe y'all know what to do with me. At the end of the day, y'all fool with me because y'all cool with me, because I think y'all know what to do with me.
I'm about to sell all my slabs and straight switch up my game. Sometime boys grind cause they wanna be seen. I'm at that stage in my life, I'm playing Jane on the scene. Undetected, nigga.